AEW Dynamite now has 300 episodes under its belt. AEW has been around for 6 years. This show was okay, but it was mainly boring and bland, if we're being honest. I wish that they would have given us moments on this show. I wish they would have gave us a bunch of memories and video packages and stuff. Just a blast from the past. But we didn't get that. So it is what it is. There's something that can be done about that. Instead, we got story for All In next week, which is fine. So we're going to get into AEW Dynamite 300 from July the 2nd, 2025. So Hangman Page starts the show. He says that he is going to ride through death itself to win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship out in Texas. And that's a promise that he plans to keep. You're going to have to kill him before he lands this chance, pass him by. It's not going to be the Elite or the Death Riders to stop him. And then he calls out Mox, and he basically wants a Texas death match. So Mox comes out and says that Hangman wants to put all the chips on the table, his health, his life, and all on the line with the AEW World Heavyweight Championship Texas death match. Moxley says no. Page doesn't want that, and even if he does, Page is going to lose because because he doesn't actually want to win the title. He doesn't want to wake up Sunday morning in the bed with the title. The reason that Hangman won the Owen Hart tournament is because that's not the highest peak for him. The highest mountain, though, that's not for Page. Then he takes a pop shot at CM Punk real quick, saying that that's basic shit. That's basic big bitch shit. So then Hangman decks Moxley in the face. A brawl ensues. Hangman gets beaten up by Claudio and Willie Yuta for a brief moment. Then the Ops, which is Samoa Joe, Will Hobbs, and Tatsuya Shibata, they come in to make the save, basically. Hangman then grabs the briefcase. And then he says that he's willing to do anything it takes to win, come All In Texas. And then he hits a buckshot lariat onto Marina Shafir. The crowd pops big, and that was the end of the segment. So, that's fine there. It makes sense. Do I care about this? No, not really. Clearly, they're doing this to move some more tickets. I think right now they have like 19K tickets sold right now. So probably by showtime next weekend, they should have at least between 22K to 25K max. So hopefully that does happen. But this match is okay. This should be the main event. I would assume we're probably going to get a triple threat main event. So it's going to consist of Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, Moxley and Hangman, and Mercedes Moné and Timeless Toni Storm. So there's that. So, this was an okay to kick. My bad. This was an okay way to kick off the show. Moving on. So this leads us into the first match of the night. Mercedes Moné, she retains her TBS Championship against Mina Shirakawa. She wins via a roll-up. Post-match, she licks Toni Storm's cake, which is cool. That was all right. And then Mercedes grabs some champagne. She spills it on Luther, and She then bounces out. Okay, that's fine. Am I excited for Mercedes versus Toni Storm? No, I'm not. This really should be not really the opener, but for the main event, well, for one of the triple threat main events, this should be the first one that we get. I think that Okada and Omega should co-main, and then Moxley and Hangman close the show. That's what should happen. Hopefully it does happen. If not, it is what it is. Who cares? I don't really give a shit at this point. Moving on. So the Young Bucks, they celebrate coming home. They have a Founding Fathers limousine. That's fancy. Not really, though. And then they just go around sightseeing in Rancho Congomunga, Cucamonga, California. Who cares? I don't care about this at all. So whatever. This leads us into MJF winning the number 2 Casino Gauntlet at All In. So he defeats Brody King, AR Fox, and Anthony Bowens. Who cares about any of this shit? It's not important. Why is AR Fox still in AEW? Same thing with Anthony Bowens. Like, let's get real. Brody King is okay, but he should be in WWE because he's a punker. No, I don't mean a punk rocker. I'm talking about he's a fan of CM Punk. One Phil Brooks. So MJF wins via the armbar. Moving on. So then Mark Briscoe comes out. He calls out MJF for a talk next week. It's going to be a talky talk. All right, that's fine. Where's this leading to? Nobody knows. I wish that MJF wasn't in the gauntlet match. Maybe he could do something with Mystico. I think that would be great. You could do mask versus hair, but that's not going to obviously happen. So, because he did show up in MLW on one of their shows like last month sometime. So, you know, there's that. But I don't care about MJF and Mark Briscoe. I just don't. I'm a fan of both guys, but I really don't give a damn about what they're doing. Moving on. So, Jet Speed does show up. They call it the Hurt Syndicate. They have some words. The Hurt Syndicate beat the shit out of Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight. And then Jet Speed then calls Shelton Benjamin a bitch, that being Kevin Knight. And then he challenged him to a match to Collision, and that was it. Who cares? I wish this match would have happened on Dynamite on this show or next week, but it's not. It's going to happen on Collision. Not going to watch. But it is what it is. Moving on, this leads us into some nonsense. Heroes versus Villains for the Superman movie that's coming out next week. Shinosuke Takeshita and the Young Bucks, they defeat Bandito, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. Alright, that's fine there. Do I care about any of this shit? No, I don't. I really don't. Post-match, Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland, they come out, they try to put their hands on the Young Bucks. Young Bucks get out of dodge. So, basically, Swerve and Ospreay, they want the Bucks to put up their EVP titles on the line in a match at All in Texas. And then Swerve clarifies that he nor will Ospreay want to become the actual EVPs. They just want to give the power back to the fans and Tony Khan, basically. They say that Tony Khan's the only true person in charge, basically. So, Will Ospreay says he's going to make them an offer they can't refuse. If the Bucks beat Ospreay and Swerve at All In, they can't challenge for the world title for 1 year. So Swerve is pissed off about this, but then he eventually gets on the same page with Will Ospreay. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care about this. We know that Swerve and Ospreay are going to win. It's common sense at this point. Does this make me more excited for their match All In? No, because I'm not a fan of the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks have go-away heat with me. I don't care if they're faces or heels. I just don't give a shit about them. I really don't. If they lose, which they probably will, this will give them a chance to go away for a while and change their gimmick. There's a possible way that maybe the Bucks don't lose. Maybe either Jack Perry or Gallows and Anderson, maybe they show up and help them win at All In. That's a possibility. Maybe all three guys could show up. Jack Perry and Anderson and Gallows. Maybe that could happen. I mean, because Ospreay and Swerve not challenging the title for a year is fine, because MJF hasn't challenged for the title in about a year and a half, basically. So as long as you tell a whole bunch of story there, and maybe you turn Ospreay or Swerve heel, I'm fine with that, So we'll have to wait and see how everything plays out. Moving on. So this leads us into Will Ospreay and Swerve defeating the Beast Mortos and Dradistico. Okay, match was alright, I guess. The win came from a Styles Clash into a house call for the 1-2-3, which was fucking awesome. They also did a Storm Zero into the Swerve Stomp combo, which was great. So that was awesome right there. That was good shit there. So I do like that. I just wish that Dradistico was in WWE with his brother Dragon Lee. I wish that Roosh was there also. Hopefully that becomes a reality, but I highly doubt it will for a while. Moving on. This leads us into the main event of the evening: Kota Ibushi versus Kazuchika Okada. Okada wins via the Rainmaker. Match was alright. Towards the end of the match, I'm sorry, guys. Towards the end of the match, Ibushi, he ended up hitting a Tiger Driver avalanche position from the top turnbuckle, which was great. That should have been the finish, but it wasn't. Okada kicked out at 2. So there's that, but it is what it is. So basically, the Don Callis family, they show up to attack. Ibushi, Omega comes out, makes the save for a massive pop. He comes out with a steel chair. The family, they get out of Dodge. Trent Beretta, he gets his ass kicked. And then the Golden Lovers, they hug it out. They embrace each other, and then that was it. So that's fine there. It makes sense. I would assume this is probably going to be the main event for All In. And I'm fine with that. But Okada versus Ibushi was okay. It was alright. Clearly both guys have slowed down, obviously, because they're both older. Like 8 to 10 years older than they once were in 2015 or 2016. You know what I'm saying? So there is that. Before I end the review, Britt Baker, she basically wants out of AEW, apparently. There's some stuff online that how she's not happy and everything else. Look, I do believe she probably does want out, but Britt Baker has a horrible attitude. She needs to change her attitude first. If she were to go to WWE, where would she go? NXT has a stacked women's division, and on the main roster, I don't know where Triple H could put her. I don't know if she would be in a prominent position. I really don't know. It could be where they could have her go to maybe, I don't know, TNA for 6 months to a year. I don't know. But apparently she does want out, and hopefully she does get out. And then AEW, they talked to Fightful Select saying that, no, that's not true. We're talking to Britt Baker, and that's a lie. It's news to us, basically. And I'm just like, look, just let her go. Just let her go. AEW has been around for 6 years. A lot of the year ones and year twos have started to leave and fizzle out. The only, and I do mean only, year one talent that's still there, that's getting pushed to the moon, is MJF. Sammy Guevara is nowhere to be found. He's stuck in Ring of Honor. Jungle Boy, he's no longer, he's nowhere to be found. Darby is about to make his way back to television, eminently. He should be at All In. Well, no, it's not that he should be. He's going to be at All In. He's going to probably win the Casino Gauntlet. So, there's that. But basically, MJF is the only year one that really matters. Everyone else that's in the year one status is basically faded into irrelevancy. And apparently Chris Jericho, they have yet to resign him, but I would imagine they're probably going to end up, reaching a deal with Jericho. I don't see Jericho going back to WWE at all. I just don't. Not even for a Hall of Fame or to be a part of the Hall of Fame at all. That won't happen. They'll probably put Jericho in like an ambassador role, or they could give him a GM role. Maybe if they wanted to actually really split the rosters. But that would be too much like my bad. That would be too much like WWE. If we're being honest, I would hate that shit. Maybe Jericho could be somebody's manager. I don't know who he could manage, but I could see him doing that. But maybe if Jericho does return to AEW, which he more than likely will, he might do 1 or 2 more matches, and then he'll call it a day. I would love for him to manage somebody like a up and comer guy, like a Will Hobbs or somebody like that or whatever. I think that would be great. That'd be pretty cool. But Dynamite 300 was okay, still boring and bland, but it was okay nonetheless. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.